Did Annie really love Eren Yeager? This could possibly be a match made in heaven. So what's up guys, Foxen here. Since today is Valentine's Day, let's talk about this very special couple. Did Annie ever have any special feelings for Mr. Yeager? I'm actually surprised at how much I get asked about this. So, is there any validity to this? Let's go ahead and delve into this. For reasons you know about, Eren and Annie do have a very special connection to each other in Attack on Titan. The two were already involved in some Titan on Titan action. That's pretty unique to them. In both of those times, Annie ended up kicking Eren's ass. Yeah, both of them. Although do notice, in the first time it seemed like Annie was holding back against Eren up until the end. Could Annie have been holding back since Eren was a special someone to her? Perhaps. Arguably, Annie did have a very special connection to Eren Yeager. It might have been second only to her father. So far, some of the flashbacks have shown you about Annie's relationship with Reiner and Bert. Honestly, the warrior trio weren't very close at all. Annie in particular didn't really seem to like Reiner, so she kept her distance from them. Without getting into spoilers, Annie may have chosen to live most of her life like this, just being that lone wolf. For the longest time, Annie's only special someone in her life might have been the connection to her father. This goes further combined with the techniques Annie learned and trained under him. So where does Eren fit into all of this? This actually goes back to some of the stuff that the anime cut out from the manga. The anime shows you some early interaction between Annie and Eren. This was when Annie handed his ass to him. The manga actually goes further to show you Annie and Eren's bonding over this. It's actually a pretty important scene, so I'm not sure why it was cut out. It happens to be one of the few times that Annie is seen smiling during her times inside of the walls. In fact, it might have been the only time. Is Annie competing with Levi? It is true that Eren was the one that initiated this bonding. Eren was trying to improve himself by copying her technique. Annie then offers to fully teach this technique to Eren, something she holds very dear to her. Unfortunately, the anime and manga don't expand on this part. It's left just to you to wonder how much time these two actually spend practicing this together. After all, it takes a good amount of time dedicated to training just to get close to perfecting this. Of course, Mikasa didn't approve at all. Perhaps this was even a hint at just how much time Eren and Annie were coming in contact with each other. Mikasa straight out tells Annie to leave Eren alone. Setting this aside for a moment, what makes this so important? It actually goes back to a character interview done with Annie. In this, she's asked about her type in guys. Naturally, Annie gives some non-answer at first, but then when she's asked about whether she's never thought about finding a special someone, Annie surprisingly replies with, "If I could find someone, maybe this meaningless world might become a little better." Taking this into account, perhaps Annie was unconsciously trying to find this special someone. Perhaps this turned out to be Eren. Annie unexpectedly began to open up to Eren. The two develop a mutual bond. Deep down inside, this could have slowly started developing into much more for Annie. Another piece of evidence for this actually comes from the Attack on Titan Junior High anime. I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. The series loves to poke fun at small or subtle things from the original Attack on Titan series. Couples and possible romances were a good chunk of this. The anime didn't shy away from showing a shy Annie towards Eren. It goes as far as showing a love triangle, of course bringing Mikasa into the picture. So, could this playful series have taken a light crush and put it much more out into the open? I think it is possible. And you might be thinking, going into the junior high anime is a stretch, but the interesting part here that you may not be aware of is just how much this was toned down for the anime. The junior high manga has a lot more moments playing up Annie having feelings for Mr. Yeager. This stuff is sprinkled all around from the point where Annie is introduced into the story. They even have full chapters dedicated to this. As you could imagine, Mikasa does not approve. But back to the original question, did Annie love Eren? The way I see it, the seeds were growing, the potential was there. Certain events unfortunately preventing this from blossoming into anything. Perhaps Eren truly is Annie's knight in shining armor, that'll one day wake her up. But hey, that's just an Attack on Titan love theory? Let's go with that. More important is what you think. Question of the day. Do you think there was anything special going on between Annie and Eren? Or do you think Mikasa would have cut Annie before it got too far? Oh wait. Also, bonus V-Day question of the day. Who is your favorite unofficial Attack on Titan couple? Let's see who's the most popular. By the way, definitely give us a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. More Attack on Titan videos are coming every week. I think so far I'm at over 10 videos this month so far. Cause who needs sleep really? Totally overrated. So definitely subscribe for more and I'll see you guys later.